Right now at noon, how one local middle school is making an impact in the lives of children with cancer, all by simply wearing hats.
And our temperatures remaining above normal for the next several days. And as we head into October, a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, federal immigration officials eye an Arkansas property for a potential detention center. We'll have the latest from Franklin County.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
And this is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. New at noon today, a weekend shooting in Hays, Kansas leaves a police officer dead. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation says officers responded Saturday to a domestic violence call on East 21st Street. A woman told dispatch her partner, 34-year-old Zane Wickham, rammed her vehicle with his truck before she fled to call for help. Officers with Hays Police and state troopers said up near the Wickham's home on Downing Street. Investigators say a shot was fired from inside, hitting an HPD officer. Life-saving efforts and a life flight followed, but the officer died around 4 a.m. yesterday. A standoff then lasted several hours. Specialized teams used gas window breaking rounds and a drone. No officers fired weapons. Around 6:15 a.m. Saturday, authorities entered the home and found Wickham dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. The investigation is ongoing. And federal immigration officials are reportedly showing interest in property in Arkansas that could become an immigration detention facility. The Franklin County Sheriff's Department says that they have been in direct contact with immigration officials. Clara Everbach has more.
Sheriff Crocker says this site is not equipped for the proposed 3,000-bed prison, nor a detention facility.
This does not have the resources. It doesn't have the structure. The highways aren't there. This is not the right place, especially for ICE agents that are bringing in cartel members.
After his deputy says they saw 3 ICE agents and the governor's senior advisor at the site, Crocker says he believes the entire process needs to be more open.
Talk to the people, be honest with people, don't lie to people. And if they don't want it, then don't put it there.
Community members agree. Gravel and Grit Director Adam Watson says many officials were unaware of the ICE agents' visit.
Local legislators didn't know, community officials didn't know, our representatives at the federal level didn't know, Department of Corrections didn't know, Board of Corrections didn't know. So it's very clear that this is a unilateral effort by the governor's office to once again dictate the future of this county, this district, and overall the whole state.
Watson says he would like to see more communication from state leaders.
We see Mr. Porfiry come out to Franklin County to look at the site with ICE agents. The one thing that they don't have time to do is show up to the legislature and ask questions or answer questions. And if they're not going to do that, then the citizens are really kind of just left holding a bag wondering what's going on.
Franklin County Judge Ricky Bowman says he feels the county has been left out of the decision making.
We've been kept in the dark. There's just not any transparency about this whole situation all the way through. And that's unfortunate. I wish that the governor's team would be more transparent with us.
He is left wondering why federal authorities are considering this site at all.
My question is, why is Franklin County, the proposed prison site, now being considered by ICE to detain individuals that they pick up across the United States, when the federal government actually has a facility just a few miles from there at Fort Chaffee?
Well, it's a beautiful and sunny day out there today. Let's head over to Chris Warner for more.
After a foggy start for some of us out there, skies began to clear. This is a look from earlier today, downtown Pittsburgh. We were just starting to get some of those clouds in there, and that's kind of that mostly clear to partly cloudy day we were expecting. MoDOT camera 20th and range line from earlier this morning as well. Of course, lots of folks filling up the road very quickly. Goes from no cars to a lot of cars as we get this Monday commute underway. Yesterday, we started at 60, so 5 degrees above normal. And look at these highs. 86 is where we made it, 9 degrees above average, but thankfully, not to record levels. That's the year my mom was born. That's how long ago it's been since we've reached those levels. Hopefully it stays that way. But our temperature trend, there's that average high, and you can see where we are nowhere near it. Now, we weren't over the weekend, and we will not be. In fact, we start heating up as we head through the rest of this week. We'll go mid-70s by 7. We'll have those mix partly cloudy to mostly clear skies, eventually becoming partly cloudy later through the evening. Upper 60s by 11 o'clock. Could have some patchy fog to start our Tuesday. At temperatures, as I mentioned, mentioned begin to climb this week. Details here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, September, it's Cancer Awareness Month, and students in Lamar, Missouri took it upon themselves to do some good. KOAM's Mitch Adams explained what students did and the difference they made for one local organization.
Students at Lamar Middle School are making a difference, $1 at a time.
Students, when they came in the morning, there were some student council people collecting money. You could just donate money if you wanted to, but if you donate money, you're allowed to wear a hat for the day. And around here, a lot of people like to wear hats, so that raises a lot of money. And there were some other people that matched some of the donations that helped us get to the $530 that we ended up donating to his foundation.
That foundation was none other than the Christian Hetty Foundation, founded by KOAM's very own Doug Hetty, who made a guest appearance to accept the money raised by the school.
They told us he had tumors all through his stomach, and we had to, at that point in time, he had stage 4 cancer. It was all over, and we didn't even know.
Someone you see on news every day, something's going on. He's someone that helps keep us all safe during tornadoes and weather alerts, and it's just cool to have somebody that important in everyone else's life come and see him in person and not just be ignorant to the little schools, but he actually came and accepted the money himself. It showed that he cares too.
To see somebody in their eyes that's really big, as a movie star to some of them, it's really great for them to be able to see in person and have that interaction and just feel like they were important and gave to a really good cause.
The school principal, J.D. Gee, says that he is excited to see what the students do next year to keep this fundraiser going.
Bring in a little more ideas. They're already starting to brainstorm some more ideas for next year of maybe doing something even more than just one day.
Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
And in Pittsburgh, the Walk to End Alzheimer's took place at Gorilla Village over the weekend. Now, more than 100 people took part in the walk, including researcher and former SAK president Matthew Taylor. The event raises money for Alzheimer's research and breakthroughs.
It's exciting to be here and be where I grew up and to see that this disease affects people all over the world, and it's just great to be here and see that there are people that are taking advocacy roles, that are working towards the elimination of this disease.
KOAM's very own Tanya Bach was the MC for the event. And coming up, an ex-Marine opens fire on a church service in Michigan, killing at least 4 people. We'll have the latest. And later, we're making after-school pizza puffs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. The U.S. Department of Education is preparing for a possible government shutdown. Yesterday, Education Department officials announced its contingency plan if lawmakers fail to pass a spending bill by late Tuesday. That's tomorrow. Now, it says nearly 1,500 of its 1,700 employees would be furloughed. That includes most staff at the Office of Federal Student Aid. Now, some essential employees would stay on to keep loans and grants moving. The agency, however, would stop issuing new grants and reviewing civil rights complaints. If the shutdown lasts longer than a week, the department says it would have to bring back some workers to work on a partial or rotating basis. President Trump is expected to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House today. The Trump administration has proposed a 21-point peace plan that calls for Hamas to release all remaining hostages within 48 hours of an agreement and sets out a post-war roadmap for Gaza. That's according to a source familiar with the proposal. Netanyahu told Fox News yesterday talks are ongoing. The plan does not indicate U.S. support for a Palestinian state. And the FBI is leading the investigation into the deadly attack at a Mormon church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Authorities say a gunman opened fire during a morning worship service yesterday and then set the building on fire. At least 4 people are dead and 8 others are hurt. Authorities say the death toll could go up as they search the burned out building. Lana Zach is in Grand Blanc with the latest.
Investigators are searching through the debris of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan, looking to see if there are more victims.
The active shooter of the church.
Police say the gunman rammed a vehicle into the church, then opened fire on hundreds of worshipers before setting the building on fire.
All indications on this investigation are the suspect used an accelerant of some sort, we believe gasoline, and lit the church on fire.
Police have identified the deceased suspect as 40-year-old Marine veteran Thomas Jacob Sanford from nearby Burton, Michigan. Police say they took him down 8 minutes after the first 911 emergency call.
When the vehicle first rammed into the building, which was standing right over there, a number of churchgoers who heard the bang ran outside to see if they could help, only to find themselves face to face with the shooter.
As I was running, with how close he was getting to me, with his shooting, I was just standing there or running, expecting to get a bullet in the back of my just legs or in my back or something.
Paul Kirby said the hardest part was being separated from his wife and children.
That was the scariest moment of my life, is not knowing my family was okay.
He said he didn't hear the shooter say a word as he went on his rampage. Lana Zach, CBS News, Grand Blanc, Michigan.
And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Coming up next, we have just the thing to bridge that long gap between lunch and dinner.
And our temperatures continue to climb this week. We'll talk about how warm it's going to get and when some relief may be on the way when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon on what started out as a pretty foggy day for at least some of us this morning. As that fog cleared, skies cleared a little bit as well. We got that mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. In fact, from earlier this morning, you can see a few clouds from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. They're actually kind of hiding behind that banner up there, but they were there. But otherwise, it wasn't a bad start to the day. And our temperatures will continue to climb. And here's the deal. We're going to remain dry. The future track's got some clouds to show us, but that's about as far as that goes. We'll have that mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies continuing throughout the afternoon. May even have a broader region of clear skies briefly this evening. As we go late tonight, overnight into early tomorrow morning, clouds will begin to increase. So we still could get some patchy fog, but we're going to start our Tuesday mostly cloudy. We remain dry for the most part. Future track is hinting at maybe an isolated sprinkle or two. So if you get a raindrop on your windshield, don't be surprised. But at the same time, the rain chance right now is less than 5% across the area. It's not a very good chance at all, but there could be a stray sprinkle or two. Otherwise, just mostly cloudy and temperatures continuing to remain above normal. Now, as we go late Tuesday into early Wednesday, skies begin to clear a little bit. Now we're going back to what we're seeing today, a mix of those mostly clear to partly cloudy skies as we head through the morning and afternoon on our Wednesday. In fact, some of us might get a little more sunshine, and that's part of why we start warming up as we head into the first few days of October, as we start to see a little more sunshine and a lot less cloud cover out there as well. So here's what we are looking at for the rest of today. Again, low mid 80s out there. That mix of partly cloudy and mostly clear skies at a southeast breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Into the evening, again, will be partly cloudy. Late tonight, very early tomorrow, we'll start to see clouds increase, and again, could get some patchy fog again, but should be fairly isolated. We'll go upper 50s, low 60s, and winds expected to be calm. So, again, our low temperatures are above normal. Our high temperatures are well above normal, so this is not a very October-like start out there. Tuesday, last day of September, mid-80s, mostly cloudy skies, east winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour, and again, maybe, just maybe, an isolated sprinkle or two, but I think we're pretty well just going to remain dry. Then we start to clear out as we go through the first day of October, still mid-80s, second and third. Look at these temperatures. I mean, I know we don't want to, but I mean, look at that. That's just kind of crazy. For the first couple of days of October, we're talking upper 80s, maybe even some locations, especially our southwestern counties, could get really close to 90 degrees. So we may still, again, not be quite to record levels, but it's going to feel like it with how hot it's going to get. Saturday, dry, sunny, mid-80s out there. And then as we head into the start of next week, this is what we're talking about here. We're still several days away. Lots of variables in play, of course, at this time, being this far out. But we do have some isolated storm chances. We really need rain across the area. We still have drought conditions out there, so it'd be great to see these numbers increase. I know a rainy weekend's not what people like, but we need that rain. If those numbers can go up, fantastic. But otherwise, our temperatures start to go down as we roll into the second half of next week. This little system starts to bring them a little closer to normal as we go mid-upper 70s following Wednesday of next week. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. We'll stick around. We're making after-school pizza puffs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Let's check in with Howard, who's making after-school pizza puffs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
I still remember when I was a kid how hungry I would be when I came home from school. I think I ate lunch around 11:15 and dinner wasn't until 6. So if I didn't eat something when I got home, I would be starving. And that's the inspiration for today's recipe. So whether you have kids or grandchildren, or you just like to snack like I do, you're going to love the pizza puffs we're making today. We start by opening a package of refrigerated biscuit dough, placing each biscuit on the counter, and with our thumb, we make an indentation in the center. Then we spoon some pizza sauce in each hole and top that with some crumbled cooked sausage. You could even use turkey sausage if you want. And to make these really pizza-like, we top them with some shredded mozzarella and a bit of Parmesan. Now, all we do is pull the dough over the filling, pinch the seams, and place them on a baking sheet, seam side down. I like to finish these with a spritz of cooking spray and even more Parmesan before baking them. Once they're puffed up and golden, they're done. Maybe serve them with a little more sauce to make them extra special. These can even be made ahead of time and simply warmed up in the microwave or even in the toaster oven. I hope you'll go online and get our recipe for our after-school pizza puffs, so you'll be armed with the perfect after-school or after-work snack. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where every day we're looking for the easiest way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can, of course, find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just going over to our website, of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's take a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, again, remaining well above normal out there, mid-80s through October the 1st, and the last couple of days, or the first couple of days of this month, take a look at that. We're talking upper 80s, near 90 degrees. We do have a system, though, building in by the start of next week that should hopefully bring us some isolated storm chances and also temperatures a little closer to normal.
All right, Dad, what do you have for us later on today?
Well, lots coming up at 5. For starters, controversial branding is making waves in culture and impacting both consumers and companies. How the culture wars are affecting the way brands advertise. Plus, McKinley Elementary gets a special donation from Subaru in Joplin to help teachers and boost student safety. And MSSU offers a crash course event for students and the public on law school insights. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, Dad, thanks. And that's the news for now. Have a great rest of your day.